Hey everybody, my name is Joe.
I'm also Joe.
Welcome back to SNES's Life Recap episode number 28. This is our 28th week of games. We've reached 140 games at this point.
So many
like
games.
That. It is so many
It
games.
does not feel like that many.
That's because only about half of them were any good. And you're going to see, we've been depressed actually. The last couple of recaps that we've done have been like this. Like 4 bad games and 1 good game. And this week's no different, unfortunately.
We've hit the stride where everyone's just
pumping games. Yeah, good or not. But we're there anyway. So in 1992 was the dawn of the mascot era platformers. And first up is Cheetah Too Cool to Fool. Arguably, I like the way this game looks.
I don't think it looks bad, actually.
But I think it looks pretty entertaining. It's very kind of comic booky, cartoony looking. The colors are nice. The sprites look okay. The sound was okay. Gameplay was kind of shit.
Gameplay was not good.
No.
It was... It moved clunky? I don't know.
New word, clunkily. Yeah, it did not control well. Like, you moved okay, but your jump was kind of, like, delayed, and you ran into stuff all the time.
The hitboxes were atrocious, especially during the platformer parts with water.
Oh, God, I forgot about that, yeah.
You have to jump between 2 sets of bridges, and you have to be right at the edge.
It wasn't as bad as trying to land Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally, where you had to, like, land the center of the bird. But it wasn't great, unfortunately. Yeah, there he put on sunglasses and the screen went dark. So it had some neat concepts in it. But in the end, it was designed really just to be like, hey, look, Cheetos! You know? So, I mean, I guess it did that because we looked at it and we were like, oh, Cheetah! It's like, it's the Chester Cheetah. It sounds great. It doesn't play great, though. So, the game wasn't super difficult. Did we? I don't think we beat it.
We did not.
But you got real close. Like, you finished like 5 of the 6 levels, didn't we? We had all the parts of the motorcycle.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, we did beat it.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
It was one of those games.
The last boss was super bogus.
Yeah, it was the.
Like you had that end. You had the end minecart level.
Yes.
And then you had like I think it was the aerial boss battle.
Yeah. So we did beat it.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It was good. It was not good enough to remember having beaten almost. Thumbs down.
Yep. Thumbs down.
2 thumbs down for Chester Cheetah. Too cool to fool. Not too cool to fool us anymore. No good. Next up is Gold, December 7th, 1992. This is a 2-player soccer game. We've played a couple soccer games at this point. This one wasn't terrible.
I agree. It was not terrible. It wasn't the best one for sure.
No, and that was really the problem. So the graphics looked okay. The sound was fine. And the gameplay was all right. I didn't really have any real downsides to it.
It's pretty slow. Like, your characters are pretty slow.
Yeah, it did seem like the defense was always faster than you.
That was an issue. And then the computer was...
Yeah, the computer was garbage. Well, your computer was garbage.
Yeah, our AIs were terrible.
Their AIs
Playing
were
against
fine.
the AI was ridiculous because they just destroyed.
Goaltending, if I remember, was kind of... It was really hard to get a goal.
It was hard to get a goal. The goalies are always AI controlled unless you change that setting, which I think you can.
Yeah, you could, but I can't imagine why you'd want to. I had the same problem with this as I do with every soccer game we've played, which I kept kicking out of bounds. Because it's the same. Every soccer game is built the same way. The same button you use to try and slide in or steal the ball is the same button you use to kick the ball. So I'd come in to get the ball, and as soon as I'd get it, I'd boot it out of the field. I'm atrocious at it, dude. I suck at it that way. I don't know what to tell you. In the end, I gave it a thumbs down because I just didn't care for it as much. What was the one we really liked? Do you remember?
No.
I think it was it Super Soccer?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Super Soccer that we really liked. And in the end, I just didn't feel like I liked it as much as the previous game that we played.
Agreed. It also didn't have as much interstitial stuff.
Yeah, like animation. It's like we played the one where they like ran across the front.
Which that was pretty cool.
So yeah, 2 thumbs down, unfortunately, for Goal. Wanted to like it. It's not a bad soccer game. You could do a lot worse.
Right.
So yeah, Goal's an okay game, but it's just in light of finding Super Soccer, no. Next up is Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. This is the platformer starring Mickey Mouse. Yeah, go figure. So Disney put out some quality games on the old systems. You know, they weren't gonna poorly represent their characters. At least not in the 16-bit era. There are a couple Mickey Mouse games for the Nintendo and the 8-bit era. They were hot garbage, dude. They were bad. But this one was pretty cool. So everything, I mean, you could tell right there. It looks great.
Graphically speaking, I think it's great. It's amazing.
It looks really good. All the sprites are nice. The colors are bright and cartoony and friendly. And yeah, it looks solid. The animations are good. The enemies are interesting for the most part. There's some neat... So like there's one of the enemies, a little pokey stick.
Yeah. They were all like based off of Pete.
Yeah, everything was... Well, no, there were some things that didn't look like Pete. There was like ladybugs and vultures
I
and
guess,
crap.
yeah. But
yes, there's a ladybug. I guess the
people look like
Pete. I take you back. Look at the ladybug when we get back over there. Ladybug even looks kind of like Pete. You're right. Look at him.
Huh.
They do have little Pete faces. Anyway, so the sound was fine.
Yep.
Music was different for every level. Sounded good. The gameplay, I think, was the only part that kind of suffered. And I think they did a lot of really neat stuff with the game. So you can see there, you can spin the fruit and then jump up and grab it and fly.
There are blocks that you can grab and throw.
Yep, there are blocks
that you grab and throw, and they respawn.
And there are ones you can throw and they'll go up, and you jump on them like an elevator. There are 3 costume changes, which I don't think we have in the clip that we pulled here. You can become Robin Hood, basically, which gives you like a bionic commando grippy arm.
Which is the coolest thing.
That
like
you
the
do
coolest
not
out of the
use.
3. And yeah, you get one level where it's necessary.
And then
the
after
second
that,
level where you can't, or like the next level that you have it, you can't use it.
Yep.
And then it's the final level that you really can't use it, or you don't.
Yeah. So the first costume you get is the like Middle Eastern turban wearing Jafar wizard.
Yeah.
And that is the primary power for the game, really, truly. You get a Fire Mickey, which has a fire hose, which again is really only used in the fire level.
It's also used in the last level.
Yeah, you have to push the
stones.
So 2 of the 3 costumes don't see nearly as much use. The wizard costume is useful in pretty much every single level.
Yeah, especially the boss fights.
Yeah, and in the last area of the game, you have to use it to activate like the magic carpets and stuff. But it was a neat concept, and it worked out well. So I think just overall, it was a fun game. The thing I said, the only thing I thought was lacking was the control was a little off, I thought.
I think the control was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying, like, there were times where I tried to, like, move, and it just didn't move the way I wanted it to.
I think the hitboxes for the bosses could be a little bit better.
Yeah, it was pretty hard to dodge some of them, and then sometimes you're like, well, that should have hit. Especially the final Pete. Like, you have to hit him basically in the face. And he's tall compared to you, so you're jumping.
Constantly having a shield up.
Yeah, he'd put his hands up, and you can't hurt him at that point. It was kind of a pain in the nuts. But otherwise, yeah, I think it was a fine game. It worked well. It played well. It was fun. We played it for 3 days to the end. So thumbs up for Mickey's Quest.
Yep, definitely a thumbs up.
Next up is a 2-player beat 'em up in the spirit of Final Fight called Rival Turf. This is actually, I know there are multiple games in this series, but this is the first one. And if you look at it, the most comparable game to it actually isn't on the Super Nintendo. This looks a lot like Streets of Rage for the Sega Genesis. And you might not have that frame of reference, but I sure as hell do. So I think everything looks fine.
I agree.
It presents well. The characters are cool looking. The sprites are pretty decent.
And if you do notice the characters, we're playing them in the wrong order. It's definitely meant for the full blue dude to be first player because his jacket's red and his pants are blue, and then the second person's supposed to be a cop, and so if he's second player, he's wearing all blue instead of red.
Which was a little weird. I mean,
it's a decent way to differentiate between
player 1 and player 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not arguing with it. I just don't think it really made Like, why couldn't you have just made it the right color anyway? It's whatever. So, it's a beat 'em up. Did we get to the end of this? We did not.
No.
We got like 3 or 4 levels out of the 6, I think. They got pretty tough, actually.
Yep. It starts out really slow, like really slow.
It does, because it was late. It wasn't until like level 3 where we're like they're throwing a lot of crap at us. It's pretty basic punch and kick, just like Final Fight. It was not super advanced or anything. You have this mode where after you get so many hits, your guy like starts flashing, and you get like a super strength thing, which was okay. I would have preferred the instead of the super strength, I would have preferred a larger radius attack. So one of the things we pointed out while we were playing was if you compare it to Final Fight, your special attacks in Final Fight had a pretty large area, where in this game you had to be pretty close to the enemy before you actually hit them.
The Nelson, his special abilities, just sticks his elbows out and spins in a circle.
Yeah, it wasn't great. The game had a pretty high difficulty curve. Once you got mid-game, it started getting really, really hard. Not that that's a bad thing. I thought the game was okay. The music was fine. Nothing memorable, but it was okay.
I didn't like that the enemies were always off screen.
That was the complaint I forgot about. The enemies on this thing would constantly hide off screen. You'd have to walk across the TV for them to come out just a little bit, and then you'd have to run back and beat them up. And like we said, your range is very short, and so it was very easy to end up with them off screen again. I forgot all about that until you brought it up just now. In the end, there's better beat 'em ups, unfortunately.
For sure.
Like, we've already hit Final Fight, which is a fine game. Turtles in Time, for God's sakes, is amazing comparatively. The game's not bad, but there are definitely better beat 'em ups on the system.
It's not bad, just not good.
Yeah, just not good enough. I think
I gave it a thumbs down.
As did I. I think just as the farther we get into this library of games, the more you have to compare it. You go, man, this game was okay, but God, this game was better, and I just can't recommend this one over that one. The last game up is WarpSpeed, December 1992. I don't have an exact date. We didn't have a manual. You can see you're flying a Stinger class fighter. This is
It's a space combat.
It's a space combat, a cockpit shooter. It is basically Wing Commander with all the extras trimmed off.
It's Wing Commander with like half of it trimmed off.
Yeah.
Even some of the not extras.
Well, look, like, what do you lose? You lose all the interstitial scenes and animations, the cutscenes. You lose your wing partner. You lose the communicator in the cockpit. Although it does still pull up messages from enemies occasionally who are like, I challenge you to fight.
You do have to open your map to do that.
You lose the bar scene where you get to like talk to the other pilots and get some story and background and play your training missions. The campaign is only 4 missions long. This game had, I think, like 6 regular missions that you could fly independently, but none of them linked. So the game wasn't really a huge campaign, sprawling campaign like Wing Commander was. And of the 3 missions we tried, all of them were legit just go kill. Go kill, go kill, go kill, go kill. And then Wing Commander had ones where it's like, yeah, kill. But on this mission, you're trying to escort this freighter to safety. So you're going to have to kill, but you also have to follow the freighter to keep it safe. Also, this mission, you have to go do, X, Y, Z. Go ahead.
It is a whole map, but they are independently loaded chunks.
Yes.
So as soon as you leave one, whatever place you were in,
I forgot about
they
that.
disappear and the next one immediately loads. So like you were in the middle of an asteroid field in one sector, and as soon as you touched the other sector, they all disappeared and the enemies immediately spawned.
Yeah.
It was right weird. In front of you. Very jarring.
And I could get why they do that.
Right, but like most games have it load
it does.
The one you're in and the ones directly around you.
Yeah.
And then once you go into the next one, it drops the ones back and then loads the ones in front.
I definitely get your complaint on it. The game looked okay.
It looked okay.
It was mediocre.
Think the enemy ships looked cool.
The enemy ships did look cool. I will give you that. Unlike Wing Commander, where most of the enemy ships looked the same, these ones.
these
ones started looking the same after a while too, but they had some neat designs.
I think the map was pretty cool.
Yeah, the map section here was pretty neat.
The fact that you can control inside of it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you could like set your jump points and warp to spaces, which I guess warp speed.
Shooting is terrible.
Shooting was atrocious. The bullets that come out of your ship, if we get into a fight here, you'll see. They're super duper duper slow. They're not like lasers. So there goes an enemy, and I can't even tell her. Yeah, there goes my bullets. Shoot, shoot. Like as you're turning, they like fly off.
Super slow.
It's really hard to shoot.
The enemy is faster
down.
than you typically.
100%. So it's very difficult to actually kill people in the game. Here you get one of the message scripts where you're talking to a guy and he's like, "I challenge you to come fight me." Look, if you're going to play a cockpit shooter, go play Wing Commander.
Absolutely play Wing Commander.
Yeah, because this one, like we said, it's kind of Wing Commander, but it trimmed off everything good.
It's like, Wing Commander Light.
It took the core mechanic of the game, which was shoot ships.
I also want to point out, when you kill an enemy, it's like freezes on your screen for like 3 seconds.
And then just disappears.
Yeah. Like it makes the explosion animation while it stays on your screen. And then the explosion animation fades, it's still on your screen, and then it disappears.
Yeah, it was not great, unfortunately. And after having played Wing Commander, I was kind of hopeful for it. But no, not at all. It's a big thumb down for me.
Definitely a thumbs down for me.
And there's a cool enemy ship again. Oh, boom, there he went. Yeah, go play Wing Commander if you want to play a cockpit fighter. So that's just... what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we got, another week of bad games. 2 down for Chester Cheetah, 2 down for Goal, 2 up for Mickey Mouse, 2 down for Rival Turf, 2 down for WarpSpeed. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us here with recap number 28. We're into week 29 now, and group 29, I guess. We split every game set up by 5, so 29. And that's it. We will see you later, and have a good one.
See you guys.